News Daybreak.
It's moving day. We're at UMC Brackenridge this morning where staff are moving patients across the street to the new Del Seton Hospital. Will Texas Public Schools get more funding? The Senate is expected to vote on a school finance bill today, but their version has something many House representatives aren't fans of. Plus, President Donald Trump on day 2 of his overseas trip, the preview of his first big speech today in front of Arab leaders. Good morning and thank you for watching KVUE Weekend Daybreak. I'm Ashley Godot in for Jenny Lee. It is 8:01 Sunday, May 21st. Let's start by getting a check on the weather. Lene Meyer joins us from the Storm Team Weather Center. Lene, how are things looking this morning?
Well, a little cloudy to start, but not too bad. If you're getting ready to go for a run, maybe getting up ready for church, maybe just out to do a few early morning errands, not a bad start. I will say this, grab your umbrella if it's not ready in the car and just leave it there because you may need it. Here's what it looks like outside on our live sky view camera. We've got a lot of cloud cover. That cloud cover really not going to go much of anywhere today. A few peaks of sun are possible, but most of us will stay under mostly cloudy skies. And notice all the heavy rainstorms to the north of us, but we're going to be watching out to the west to see what develops and what may come our way. I think today the best chance for rain is going to be the hill country, but I'm going to spread about a 30% chance across central and east Texas as well. That's where we have the opportunity to see a few showers too. Low 70s right now in Austin and Bastrop. We're at 67 in Blanco and 68 in Burnett. Today we are going to see that cloud cover and the opportunity for hit and miss rain showers, which means you may see some. You may not. It's one of those days where it's going to be hard to pinpoint. The wet weather does continue, but I also am looking at a drying trend, so we're going to break down when we see what, when you can put those umbrellas away and pull out the sunglasses. That's coming up in just a few minutes, Ashley. All
right, thank you so much, Lene. Keeping my fingers crossed for the sunshine today. All right, well, a big change is happening this morning. University Medical Center Brackenridge is transferring all of its patients across the street to the new Seton Dell Medical Center at UT. KVUE's Jason Puckett is there this morning.
Ashley, good morning. Standing outside the Del Seton Medical Center, which we can officially say is open for business this morning. The ER now taking patients here in Austin. They are about to start the process to move the patients from UMC Brackenridge a little bit south of here. And as you can see over here on the right side of the screen, 14 or so ambulances ready to begin that process. A little bit earlier this morning, we had a chance to talk with Dr. Tom Cavan. He's the Chief Medical Officer, explaining how this new building will allow a lot of new opportunities here in Austin.
It's really going to up the game, not just for healthcare in Austin, but really for all Austinites. This is going to bring capabilities we haven't had before. I'm really convinced of that. Del Seton Medical Center at UT is open for business.
And one of the most interesting parts of this process is just how detailed they're getting in this move. We're actually going to have the chance to follow some of those folks as they gear up here at Brackenridge, move across the street to Del Seton, and then get settled in here at the new facilities. We'll have that story for you tonight on KVUE. For now, here at Del Seton, I'm Jason Puckett, KVUE News.
All right, well, if you plan to be going in that area, there are a lot of road closures you need to be mindful of today. Red River Street is closed from MLK Boulevard to Health South Rehab Hospital and Brick Oven Restaurant. 15th Street is closed from I-35 to Trinity. All roads will reopen at midnight tonight. But if you have an emergency, the ER is open despite the closures. Well, President Donald Trump starting day 2 of his trip in the Middle East. Today he's been holding a series of meetings with leaders in Saudi Arabia. And later this morning, the president will deliver a highly anticipated speech on confronting terrorism. Here's ABC's Cecilia Vega with the latest.
This morning, President Trump meeting with one Arab leader after the next. Egypt's President El-Sisi laying on the praise, saying President Trump has a unique personality that is capable of doing the impossible. It prompted laughter in the room, and the president's response? I agree. With all that controversy back at home, President Trump looking glad to be so far away. A traditional Saudi dance, typically a symbol of peace after a hard-fought war. And the men fighting with him in that battle back in Washington, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross right here too, dancing with swords. But it was down to business. The president cutting a 10-year, $350 billion arms deal with the Saudis.
That was a tremendous day. I just want to thank everybody, but
tremendous investments into the United States, and our military community is very happy.
The centerpiece of the trip comes later this morning, a speech to the Muslim world on extremism. President Trump expected to use a softer tone on Islam than his campaign trail rhetoric.
I think Islam hates us.
Not likely to be a focus of that speech, human rights.
As a woman here in Saudi Arabia, I wouldn't even be allowed to go into this door at a McDonald's. I would have to go through this side that says family section, completely segregated. There is a wall here that keeps the women separate from the men.
While the president was in town, country star Toby Keith holding a free concert here, American flags lining the stage. In the audience, men only, women not allowed.
In the 85th Texas legislature, lawmakers working this Sunday to pass some key pieces of legislation. Senators will gavel in at 7 o'clock tonight. They're expected to vote on House Bill 21, reforming school finance. But the Senate version of the bill has a major change. They added in education savings accounts, also called vouchers, for special needs students. ESAs have been a tough sell in the House, where representatives killed a bill aimed at offering them to all students. The House will meet at 2 this afternoon. And we want to send a big congratulations this morning to the newest University of Texas graduates. Over 9,000 students received their diplomas, finishing off the celebratory weekend at the UT commencement last night. One special graduate we spoke with Cecilia Lopez. She studied nursing. She says her sister, who died of cancer in 2009, was her inspiration to join the medical field. Despite the heartbreaking experience, Lopez says she can still remember the good times in the hospital, particularly with her sister's nurses.
There's nothing to do. We would kind of play jokes on them, or like have them tell us stories, or we tell them stories. And, you know, now looking back and knowing all the responsibilities nurses have to do, I'm like in awe that they had time to do all that.
Now she hopes to be the exact same relief for another family. Lopez graduated with honors Friday. She will be part of the ICU nursing staff at the Dallas Children's Hospital. Eventually, she hopes to become a pediatric oncology nurse. Retired Dallas Police Chief David Brown gave the commencement speech yesterday. Brown is a 33-year veteran of DPD. He gained national attention last July for his leadership and strength during the deadly attack on officers. UT students actually selected him to give the address. Brown used it as a time to promote a message of service.
Some of the people who criticize and divide the most need to be served the most. Congratulations, 2017 graduating class of the University of Texas at Austin. Raise them high, raise them high. What starts here changes the world. Hook them horns, and I'll see you at dinner.
Before the ceremony, we sat down with Brown. We learned he attended UT but didn't graduate. Brown says he left school during his senior year to join the Dallas police force after seeing the crack cocaine epidemic sweep through his home. His goal for the address: motivate the next generation into service.
This is the perfect time to be alive right now, according to Hamilton, I think. I think this is the perfect time to serve. And I want to be that foundation, that underbelly of pushing these folks toward what I think is their future.
Since his retirement, Brown has been writing a book. It's coming out in June. He's also a contributor on ABC News.